Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time seeing me, then just welcome. Today I'm going to play you a video of an influencer apologizing even though he was right. First we're going to play the video where he said what he said, and then we'll chat, and then we'll play the video where he apologized, and then we'll chat again and just kind of like discuss.
A brand not making your size in something does not give you grounds to talk shit and degrade the brand. Brands are allowed to want a certain look and image with their products. They are allowed to make things for the people they want to make them for. I've been seeing too many people talking shit recently, and it's pissing me off. People are allowed to have preferences, and brands are allowed to create an image with what they want and have a specific type of person wear what they have. Not everybody needs to be catered to by everything and everyone. And this is a lesson I had to learn when I was fucking fat. I used to think clothes just weren't flattering. No, babe, the body wasn't fucking flattering. But a lot of brands don't make my size and a lot of shit still. And if a piece of clothing is not flattering on you, it doesn't mean the item or product is not flattering or is not good. It's not made for you. I'm a size 16 shoe. A lot of brands don't make my size. Do I waste my time and lend my energy and focus to what I don't want and what I can't have and attacking brands for not making my fucking size? No. Every single human being is very powerful. You have to be careful with where you put your attention and your focus. For you to stick your attention and your energy on what doesn't work for you, what is not made for you, and what brands don't want you to wear their fucking shit, you're never gonna have mental space to think and look for and discover brands that are made for you. You can't keep focusing on what you don't want and find what you do want. Get your fucking attention off of the shit that's not for you and the things you don't like. I'm never gonna find my size in shoes that I like if all I'm doing is sitting here crying how most brands only go to a 13. Fuck them. I'm gonna go buy the shoes that go to my size. But key point here, if my focus is nothing but stuck on the brands that don't make my size, I'm gonna feel nothing but frustrated, irritated, singled out, and pissed off. That's a waste of your energy. Being a human being is a very valuable experience, and it's a very precious thing. Don't waste your fucking time on the shit that's not for you. Don't let useless nonsense irritate you. I know social media has a big fucking mental illness of its own with contributing to people lacking perspective of what really fucking matters. Clothes not being in every single person's size is very, very minute and a very minuscule thing compared to what else is going on in the world. Maybe go the fuck outside and go experience some real contrast and see what other people are really dealing with and living with, and you might be a little more appreciative of your situation and the fact that you can go find other shit that does fit you. Brands are allowed to do what they want. I'm not saying they're right or wrong for discriminating. They're gonna do it. You bitching about it is gonna do nothing but ruin your emotional state and your mental state. That's what I wanna protect you from. I gotta be a little harsh with you because I love you. But get your fucking focus off the shit that ain't for you so you can find what is.
Now, there was obviously nothing wrong with that video, but everybody was literally freaking out. Everyone was like, oh my God, he's fat shaming. He is awful. He's calling our bodies ugly and he hates us. People went so far as to say they don't feel safe with Leo because they thought he was a safe space, and now he has said this horrible thing and now they don't feel safe with him anymore. But the thing is, Leo spoke to people who weren't ready to receive what he was saying, because there are a number of fat people that looked at that video and said, I understand what he's saying. I can hear and I know what he's saying. I get it. A lot of the people that were complaining didn't get it. And he unfortunately deleted the video because people said they didn't feel safe. Whatever that means. You're not supposed to feel safe on the internet. You're supposed to feel safe at your home with your parents, with the people that know you and love you. The internet is not a place for you to feel safe at. And I think that's probably one of the bigger problems with the internet and social media now, was that people are being coddled and everything is so soft. Excuse me. And people can't really say what they need to say because of people like that who say they want to feel safe on the internet. But basically what Leo was saying is that, and that's what he said, I want to make sure that you are focusing, you are lending your energy where it belongs, where it should be, which is like empowering yourself and bettering your life. Sitting on the internet and bitching and complaining about what you don't have access to isn't going to change anything. That's true. It's not going to change anything. There's this brand, and I think that's what the brand that maybe he was referencing, where it's called Brandy Melville, and they only sell size 0 clothes. They don't have any other clothes. People have complained about it so many times, but that's just what they do. The thing is, when you open a store, when you're a business person and you get an idea to open a store, you're going to think about every single detail that's going to go into opening that store because this is your dream. So you're going to think, what color the wall's going to be? What am I going to sell in the store? How is it going to look in the store? How is it going to sit? How am I going to decorate? Who am I going to hire to decorate? Every single thing you're going to think about and imagine, and you're going to have a vision for how your store is going to look. If the vision you have for your store doesn't have size 40 clothes hanging from the racks, then unfortunately the person isn't going to have that in their store. But the great thing about that is that there's stores like Yeti by Lizzo, and there's Good American by Chloe, and Chloe literally made Good American for this very reason. She said when she was big, she couldn't find any clothes anywhere, and so she wanted to fix that. So she made this store just for people who are big, never to have this problem again, because one of the problems is that big people, fat people, don't have stores that sell pretty clothes. Like if a store does sell big clothes, they sell them in like weird patterns and they look nasty. So Chloe said that as well. She said she couldn't go shopping with her sisters because every time she went shopping with her sisters, nobody had her size. And so she designs clothes for that. You can find stores, like especially now in 2024, you can find so many places that cater to big people because this has been complained about and it has sort of been fixed by other people who are bigger. Skims as well, they have sizes for big people as well. So what Leah was saying is that you can focus on finding brands that love you and include you and want you around, or you can focus on brands that don't want you around, don't want to include you, and don't need your money. If you focus on the latter, you're going to be miserable because you're only focusing on the bad things in life. You're only focusing on the people that don't want you. It's like having an ex-boyfriend who doesn't want you anymore and then having someone who has a huge crush on you and wants to give you the world, and you just can't see them because you're looking back all the time at this person who hates your guts. Like, why wouldn't you choose to focus on these brands that absolutely adore you, cater to you, everything is about you? Why would you focus on... It's like you guys have a Christian Grey kink where you want to make everybody do exactly what you want them to do, bow down to you, like eat your crap and do exactly what you want them to do. It doesn't work that way. If you want a business that sells the things that you want them to sell, you open the business. Or you look for someone who already has opened that business, but you can't force Brandy Melville to sell size 40 if they don't want to. And it's okay that they don't want to. Because you know what? Lizzo and Chloe have got your back. That's all that he meant. And I don't understand why people, again, like they're missing the point of his video again. They've chosen to focus entirely on the negative aspect of his video and they're not hearing the very positive message in the middle of his video where he's saying, I don't want your mental health to be messed up by the fact that there are people that aren't obsessed with you, because there are people that are obsessed with you. Don't focus on the people that aren't obsessed with you. Focus on the people that absolutely adore you and want to give you the world, right? So people were so upset with him. So he ended up deleting the video and then he made an apology video. And this is the apology video that he made.
All right, to hit this properly, the ego is checked at the door. I got some shit to own up to. I deleted the video because it does the opposite of what I want to do. It made a lot of people feel unsafe with me, and that's the last thing that I want. So this is not gonna be a sappy apology video and be manipulative to try and win anybody over. This all made me realize the time in my life when I was overweight actually does trigger the fuck out of me. And it's not the body and the way that I looked that triggered me. It's the painful mindset I was stuck in that I do not want to be reminded of. My whole childhood and early adulthood, I felt very trapped and powerless in a body and a mind that I hated. It wasn't my physical appearance. I thought it was. It was really feeling like I had no control over my life and what that perception did to me. And now whenever I feel powerless, I say jarring shit to myself to snap me out of an old mentality and look for empowerment. But me sharing that in the fucked up way that I did was to help a lot of you, and it ended up hurting a lot more of you instead because you feel like I judge you for the way that you look. It also made a lot of people feel like I was judging them for wanting to feel included. That's not what I stand for at all. I never want anyone to feel uncomfortable or unsafe around me, ever. But the way that I said things in that video made a lot of you feel disempowered and criticized instead of feeling like I was looking out for you. And that's always my actual intent, and that don't sit right with me. So the video's gone. But not finding my size in things is something I deal with daily. I'm 6'7" and a size 16 shoe. Clothes are a pain in the ass. Shoes, rarely ever find. Bags, the strap rarely long enough. It doesn't fit over my body. But that's a situation for me that makes me feel very powerless, is when my size is not made. And like I said, I say triggering shit to myself to look for the control I do have when I'm looking at things that make me feel disempowered. And when a brand doesn't make my size, I look at it like saying, fuck them, versus giving them my attention and begging them to include me or bullying them to include me. It's 2024. These brands know that people come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. They're aware. They're choosing not to make certain things. Either it's a financial decision or it's an attempt to actually exclude you. But my personal relationship to that is feeling disempowered and not giving any of my attention to it. But not everybody has my same relationship to this scenario or the same relationship to feeling powerless. And I don't like that my shit made a lot of people feel hurt. That's my thing to deal with. Everybody is allowed to freely speak their mind. Shouldn't have said that because I was doing it in that video. But the thing I should have communicated better was I find my power in absence. So I'm not going to give attention to the brands who don't cater to me. I'm going to go find the brands and focus on the ones that do, or make my own stuff when I can. With all this being said, my aversion to powerlessness and my own relationship to it and my poor communication of that made a lot of you think that I have an aversion to you because of the way that you look. And I want to make sure everyone knows that is 100% not true. I actually do want to say thank you to everyone who voiced their opinion and told me how hurt you were by this, because it really made me reflect. When people say I'm hurt, that's my wake-up call of like, you did something, because that's never my intent. So instead of sitting here and saying I'm sorry, because those are just words and they don't do anything for anybody, I'm gonna give you my word that I'm gonna continue to do any work necessary to make sure that you always know and feel that I'm looking out for you and I'm here to protect you.
What this tells me, and the reaction that everybody had, is just that they wouldn't survive a day in an African household. Because in African culture, the way you show love is to be tough and to say mean things sometimes. It's like you guys never had siblings. Like, didn't your siblings ever tease you? Didn't they talk to you rough? Like, you need that in life. Because the world isn't going to be, it's all these like kids that grew up with padded homes where everything was baby proofed. Like, you guys grew up in baby proofed homes, and like that has to be the case because the world is not baby proofed. Leo was saying what he was like, what his experience is, and he wasn't even being evil, and you guys are acting like he was. And so now he has to walk it back, and he has to say, everyone has the right to say whatever they want, but you guys are taking away his right to say whatever he wants, because it wasn't his intention to hurt you. And if it hurt you, you should be able to talk to yourself and understand within you or with your therapist why it is that you're not able to hear simple facts and deal with them. You should be talking to your therapist or your family or friends about why it is when you hear something on the internet from a stranger that you don't know, you break down and it ruins your whole day. That's something that you would need to investigate, because it shouldn't be that way. You should be able to take what's for you and ignore what's not for you. When you have a plate and there's something on your plate that you don't like, you just don't eat it. And then you return it with the plate after you're done eating all the things you do like to eat. You don't sit there and not eat your food and go on and on and on about the beetroot on your plate that you just hate. Because you will starve, busy complaining about the beetroot instead of just pushing that beetroot to the side and eating what it is that you do want to eat. It's really that simple. That's the way social media works. That's the way the world works, the way everything works. Of course, if someone is saying like horrible, horrible things, it can be triggering, but that is something that you have to deal with yourself. If someone is not intentionally going out of their way to hurt you, then that's not something that you need to be berating them about and ruining your day about, because you can just move on. You can just block them and move on. Like, you don't need to sit there huffing and puffing about it all day long. And again, it's a control thing. You guys have like a control issue where you have to control everything that comes out of everybody's mouth. People have the First Amendment right. They have the right to say whatever they want to say. Even if it makes you upset, they still have the right to say, even if they say bad things, even if they say, I hate all black people, even if they say that, they are still able to say it. It's their right to say it. And you know what? I would rather someone say that to me, put that on their store and be like, I don't want to serve you, people that look like you. I don't want to serve girls. I don't want to serve tall girls. I don't want to serve short girls. I would rather say someone say that, and then I know I don't need to be in that store, and then I can go somewhere where I'm welcome, than forcing that person to have me when they don't want me there. And then when I'm there, I'm getting treated like nonsense, and I'm wondering, why is this person being so mean to me? Or why is this person giving me like service that isn't as good as the other person next to me? And that's because they didn't want me there, but they were forced to have me there. And so now my experience is miserable. I'm miserable. They're miserable. Everyone is upset. Just ignore the people that don't want you around. And like, whenever someone tells you they don't want you around or shows you they don't want you around, consider that a favor. They're doing you a favor so you're not wasting your money where you're not wanted. I have like this opinion that like the reason why brands are making these awful patterns and colors of like big clothes is because they're doing it like it's, what's that subreddit? It's malicious compliance. Because now they're just like, they have to sell these big clothes because everybody complained and made them do it. So they said, okay, you want big clothes? We'll give you big clothes. And then they make them so ugly that like nobody buys them. It could be like, you don't know. So you want to go to a place like Good American where there are fabulous clothes, very beautiful, and they are made for people like you. There is, of course, also the price factor. I don't know how much they cost. But I did see a video by Fanita where she was talking about the fact that there's fast fashion. Fast fashion is always going to have your size. And now that's being demonized as well, because people are saying fast fashion is evil because it is, it's like bad for the environment. But she was saying that, well, get over it, because it's the only place that fat people can find clothes that are beautiful and that fit nicely too, like, you know. So there are always going to be places where you can find the stuff that you want. I believe that what Leo was doing he wasn't being evil and malicious and mean. It was tough love. It's what we call tough love, where you just like, well, listen, friend, it's not going to change. This is what you've got. It's option A or option B. You're either going to sit here in the mud crying and complaining, or you're going to stand up, take a shower, and go where you're wanted. The biggest problem here is that people want to make people want them when people do not want them. If someone doesn't want you, you can't force them to want you. And if you force them to want you, if you force them to have you, they will maliciously comply. And then you're both going to be miserable. Just go where you're wanted. It's very simple. And yeah, that's all. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I am so sorry that I didn't post the video last week Thursday. On Wednesday, I crashed my car, and then nothing happened. I was fine. But then like, I was just like feeling down in the dumps the whole day on Thursday about it, because was kind of like beating myself up about it. So yeah, just like I couldn't sit here and make a video. Or maybe I should have and like started sobbing in the middle of it. But yeah, so I'll see you guys on Thursday and we'll chat about whatever's going on then. Have a wonderful week. Choose love, choose happiness, choose to be anything but ordinary. I love you guys. Bye.